everybody. So you've decided to sell all your wedding items. You had a great event and now you want to make a little bit of money back on them. So we're going to discuss today a few tips that we've gotten from our past sellers, pass them along to you, and hopefully they'll help you out in your process too.
You absolutely need to bring is change. You have to, everybody's going to be purchasing items in cash, and you're going to want to bring lots of ones with you to make the change.
Ones and fives.
Ones and fives work best. You can get a credit card reader. That is a personal decision. If you have lots of items that might be a little bit more pricey and want to do the credit card sales that way, that's up to you. We do encourage all of our buyers to bring cash though, so it's not a necessary item to have to sell with us, but that's up to you. We've had some sellers do it and that's perfectly fine, but we just don't encourage buyers attending to
we suggest at least $50 in ones.
Yes, to make change.
Yep.
So second one is you want to bring help. We get a lot of people within that first 15 minutes of the sale that you're going to bombard you. If you don't have a helper with you, it can get very overwhelming. So that the helper will also, whoever you choose, can be there during setup and help you get kind of everything together and ready, and then also tear down at the end if you need it. But mostly you just need a helper in that, would you say, like
the first 15 or 20 minutes that we open the doors?
Yeah, that window of maybe that for, about an hour is when you're really going to need, they're going to need to help you make change, package items, and kind of get together what this person's buying, and maybe help sell some items, interact with buyers, because you'll get lots of people at your table. So
once the first group comes in, they'll shop pretty well. We'll open the doors to the bargain buyers next half an hour later. So again, there'll be that little 15 minutes after that one too will be kind of hectic.
Yeah, so make sure you bring someone that's going to help you. The next tip is price your items ahead of time. This is something that you want to at least know what you want out of it. You don't have to necessarily stick to that price. It's just something you've already established, I would like to get this much money, and you can always negotiate when you're at the sale. So just think of it a little bit ahead of time. Get maybe an inventory of your items and like what you want to sell it for, how many you have. It'll only help you in that mad rush of the sale for that first couple
minutes. And if you don't feel like you have to put a sticker on every little thing, if you want to put one item out kind of as a display and say, I want $5 for this, you might have 20 of them, but I want $5 for this. And if you're doing items like that too, we also have heard people tell us, have two prices set, one for the individual price and one as a group.
Yes, and it is good. You're going to get lots of buyers in that need multiple items, so it's better to sell it as a group. You will get rid of more, you will make more money, so it's better to do like items in maybe groups of 5 or 10.
And I'm going to slip in a little bit of a buyer tip in this one. We're mainly addressing sellers here, but if you're coming as a buyer and there's a great deal on a large group of something, even if you don't think that I'm going to be able to use all of the items, maybe I need half of them, just remember when you come back as a seller, you can sell them all.
Yep.
So even if you're not using every piece of it, and you might find a use for it after you get it home, but even if you don't, you can resell it.
Yeah, that's not something that's going to go to waste.
Right. Don't pass up a good bargain just because you think there's 2 extra ones that I won't use.
Yep. So price your items ahead of time, be willing to negotiate. That's really the main point there.
Right.
The next one is when you are bringing in items, it's good to have a cart or something. We have a cart that we let you guys use, and we have a couple other carts that from
the venue usually lets us borrow a few.
Yeah, but if you're sharing and everything, you might not want to wait on a cart. So we have lots of sellers that bring their own, and that's a good way because you can also usually repurpose it during the sale and use it for a display or let other people.
Don't feel like you have to go out and buy a cart if you don't have one, but if you do have one, bring it along with you.
Yep, it's a good item to bring, and maybe you can reuse it during the sale as well. And last,
this is a big one.
This one's a big one. Send us preview pictures.
Yeah.
This is directly selling your items in particular. I mean, we are bringing in brides, but as you know, a wedding can be any color, any theme, and this is something that you want people coming in specifically to buy your items. So send us some 4 to 10 pictures.
Yeah, you don't have to take a picture of everything you're selling.
Just a good sample of
style, color, those kind of things. That tells people pretty much everything they need to know. If you're doing a rustic style wedding and you're seeing stuff that's very glamorous, probably not the booth you're going to shop from. Yep. But people need to know what kind of stuff is there. If they're looking through the preview pictures, maybe your wedding was a little different than some of the other preview pictures. Maybe somebody wouldn't buy a ticket because they didn't think there was going to be anything there that they wanted.
Yep, the buyers are looking at these pictures and deciding whether or not to purchase a ticket, and also what type of ticket they're going to buy.
Right.
So if they're going to get an early bird or a bargain buyer ticket. So it's a good idea to send us the preview pictures. Pictures from your wedding work really well, especially if you can get them from your photographer. But that's not an absolute must. You can send us pictures that you've taken. They don't have to be at your wedding. You can take them in your home, just as long as make sure the lighting's good, the item in the picture is clearly displayed on what's for sale. So these are pictures. It's like your advertisement.
We actually had, and I remember, you're going to remember this conversation too. Yeah. We had a lady that had a gorgeous wedding. Her daughter had a gorgeous wedding, and she said, I don't know, they spent hours the morning before setting everything up, but they were so exhausted.
Yeah, I know your tip. Yep.
I forgot to take any pictures. Yes. And didn't think about it again until everybody was already crowded in. So
if you were decorating on Friday, take some pictures before you leave. It's because you aren't going to get to see your reception area again until after all your guests are there.
Right.
So you're the last one to arrive.
Right. She completely forgot that.
Yes. So make sure you take some pictures. If you haven't had your wedding yet, definitely get some, because it'll be a couple of months maybe before you get your professional pictures back from your photographer. So, and you don't necessarily want to wait that long to sell your items.
And remember, the photographer's there taking pictures of you before the wedding. So they're going to get to the reception with everybody else too. So they're not going to get that chance to get that beautiful look pristine before anybody gets there.
Yeah, most of the time. But you can get a good idea, some centerpieces and stuff from your professional pictures. But it's best to take them on the Friday when you finish decorating, or whenever, Saturday morning.
Whenever.
Yeah. Preview pictures are very important because that is what sells your items specifically. They're going to bring buyers to your booth.
We want you to be successful, and we're going to do everything we can to help you be successful. But that's one of the best tips we can give you.
Yep. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Stay tuned for next week, and thanks so much for I'm going to start over on that. Stay tuned for next week.
See you next week.
Yeah.